Are you feeling overwhelmed? Good. That might actually mean that you're on the edge of the next level of your development, the next breakthrough. My name is Jocelyn Herman-Saccio. I am a thought partner, master coach, and vision architect. And today we are dismantling one of the most toxic myths among high performers, the belief that struggle equals failure. No, no, no. Often struggle equals scaling. And if you are a successful entrepreneur, a high performer who has been interpreting every challenge as evidence that you're doing something wrong, then you need to hear this reframe and listen to the whole episode. This could be the difference between staying stuck and actually stepping into your next level of growth. By the end of this video, you are going to have a completely different lens for viewing the chaos in your business and a 3-step diagnostic process to be able to turn any breakdown into your next breakthrough. For over 35 years, I have been helping entrepreneurs, high performers, high achieving human beings navigate the messy middle of scaling. So what I have learned, what I've discovered for myself has been the entrepreneurs who thrive aren't the ones who avoid problems. They're the ones who actually interpret them in a different way. Because here's what I see happening over and over again. Brilliant, successful business owners are staying small. Why? Not because they can't handle growth, but because they've been conditioned to actually see every new challenge as a personal failure, as a problem, instead of what it actually is, which is evidence of expansion. Here's the first point: the scaling paradox. Why growth always feels like chaos. Just think about it. Every time you grow, your team, your income, your visibility, there are new challenges. New challenges emerge with every growth, more decisions, more complexity, more breakdowns. But those aren't signs that things aren't working or that you're off track. They're actually evidence that you are on the right track. You are expanding. Here's what most entrepreneurs don't really understand. When you're hitting $100,000, you have different problems than when you're hitting $500,000 or multiple 7 figures. They are a different flavor of problems. And your $500,000 problems are completely distinct from your $20 million problems, right? The problems didn't appear because you're failing. They actually appeared or emerged because you are succeeding. New game, new problems. And according to entrepreneurship research, failure and setbacks are actually completely catalysts for innovation. The entrepreneurs who embrace this concept, this experimental mindset, the ones who view each challenge as valuable feedback, as a learning opportunity rather than a definitive failure, are the ones who end up scaling successfully. So when your calendar gets chaotic, when your team starts to shift dynamics, when your old systems start breaking down, that is not a red flag. That's feedback. Your business is growing and your structures and infrastructure and systems need to catch up with the growth. The difference between entrepreneurs who scale and those who stay stuck isn't their problems. It's their interpretation of those problems. See, one sees chaos as failure and the other sees it as data, as information, like a scientist. The second point is the interpretation game, how you frame problems. That determines your future, not the problems themselves. What matters isn't the problem itself. It's how you interpret it, your narrative about it. The problem doesn't mean stop. It means look. What system needs to evolve or be created? What structure needs an upgrade? What Team members need support. What conversation needs to happen in your business? Let me tell you about one of my clients who went from a solo coaching practice to launching a group offer. She panicked. Her calendar started to get what she thought was chaotic, and she was ready to shut down the group offer because she didn't know how to deal with it from an infrastructure perspective. She thought that the overwhelm meant that she was failing before she had even started. Does that sound familiar? But the chaos, that wasn't the issue. It was feedback. Her business was growing and her old systems couldn't handle the new game. It couldn't support what she was building. That's important to check your systems out because your systems are your implementation process. So what did we do? I told her to slow it down, diagnose, rebuild. Instead of acting from fear, we created from vision. We looked at actually what was in place, what was breaking down, and her calendar management system was really designed for one-on-one coaching. That's what was the foundation of her calendar, not for group programs. So her onboarding process was very much designed for one-on-one people. It couldn't handle multiple people at once. There was no system for it. Her communication structure was built for individual, personalized relationships rather than community building, which is a different animal. Once we identified the real breakdowns where they were, we rebuilt her systems and retargeted her team to support the new level of business within her vision. So within 90 days, she was running her group program and it was smooth. It had doubled her revenue because that is a way to scale if you are a coach. The difference between the kind of entrepreneurs who actually scale like she did and those who stay stuck isn't their problems, it's their interpretation of those problems. One sees chaos as failure, the other sees it as data. Point three, the 3-question diagnostic system from breakdown to breakthrough. When you hit that wall of overwhelm and burnout, instead of spiraling into, oh my God, I'm doing everything wrong, I don't know if this is going to work, ask these 3 questions. This will help you diagnose what's happening. The first question is, what is the real breakdown? Not the surface level chaos, but the actual system that is being stretched or taxed beyond what it's designed to do, beyond capacity. Is it your calendar management? Is it your team structure? Is it your client onboarding system? Get really specific and clear about where the breakdown is occurring. The second question is, what system needs to shift or be upgraded or updated? Once you've identified the real breakdown, what needs to alter? What needs to evolve? Maybe it's your communication system that worked when you had 5 clients, but isn't going to work now that you have 50. Or maybe your decision-making process worked when it was, just you handling things, one-man show, one-woman show, but now you have a team of 10. So you've got to address the decision-making process. The third question is, am I reacting from fear instead of creating from vision? Which world are you in? Because often the problem isn't the problem. Our fear based on a reaction to the growth is the issue. Are you panicking because things look different or because something isn't actually working? What is the panic about? What is the reaction about? These questions will shift you from victim mode, like, why is this happening to me? I always make bad decisions, to CEO mode, which is, what does this situation need from me? What needs to alter? What needs to evolve? What needs to emerge or be designed? You are not broken. You are becoming. And becoming requires a consciousness, an evolution, a designed effort to your systems, your mindset, and your leadership and relationships with the people in your team. The fourth point is the small staying trap. Why avoiding problems kills your potential completely. Here's what almost nobody talks about. The entrepreneurs who avoid problems by staying small in their intentions and goals are actually choosing a different kind of suffering, the suffering of an unfulfilled potential. It's still suffering, though. When you keep your business small enough for you to manage so that you don't have to have problems, quote unquote, keeping it small keeps you small, keeps your vision small. The impact, the freedom is small. The fulfillment that comes from building something from your vision stays small. You're robbing yourself basically, and you're robbing people. Scaling can be messy. It can be awkward, but it's a sign that something is working. You are growing. The mess is not evidence that you're off track. It can be an indicator that you're actually on track. You just need to implement something new. Studies show that entrepreneurs who embrace the experimental mindset, the scientist kind of mindset, who view setbacks as learning opportunities, as data rather than failures, are significantly more likely to achieve long-term success. It has a direct correlation to your mindset about it. The only thing worse than problems is staying so small that you don't have any. Big problems, big game, big life. Small problems mean small impact, small income, and small fulfillment, as well as, small gain, small quality of life. Now, if you are watching this and you're thinking to yourself, Jocelyn, okay, I get it intellectually, but I'm still drowning in the day to day and I can't deal with the chaos. I need someone to help me actually implement this kind of diagnostic process. If you're thinking that, that is exactly what I help my clients do. We don't just reframe the problems. We actually rebuild the systems so that you can implement and scale with clarity instead of chaos. So remember, feeling overwhelmed isn't a sign that you're failing necessarily. It's often a sign that you're actually scaling. The key is learning to interpret the chaos correctly and respond to whatever's happening from your vision instead of your reaction, your autopilot. Every single breakdown is feedback for you, is data. Every challenge can be data. Every moment of overwhelm in your business is asking you to actually level up your leadership. Don't panic. Look. What's working? What's not working? What do you need to implement? And now that you understand how to reframe problems as progress, you can dive even deeper into this whole world of performance and vision by watching the next video. Just click to watch the next video now, and we'll see you in the next episode.